This person is asking, I want a romantic relationship. How do I get that? Be aware of what you're asking for. A romantic relationship is a relationship in which two individuals are projecting their own needs and their own inadequacies upon the other and expecting those needs and inadequacies to be filled by the other. In other words, a romantic relationship is one in which initially the people involved feel better about themselves than they have before, sometimes than they ever have before. They feel more intelligent, more alive, more sexual, more beautiful, more able to engage the world, more excited about being alive. And this lasts until the individuals involved begin to see each other more as they actually are. That is, they begin to see, for example, one begins to see that the other has a temper. And the other begins to see that the first needs to please and never really says what that person is thinking, only trying to please the partner. And this goes on, and eventually it gets to be difficult because the individuals involved don't understand that this is natural, that it's a healthy thing and not a destructive thing, that the relationship is not disintegrating, but that the illusion is falling apart. And when the illusion falls apart, then the reality of the two individuals together and what they can make of that and what they can learn about themselves from one another begins to emerge. And this is when real relationship becomes possible. As we transition from the limitations of five sensory perception, in which we look outside ourselves and attempt to change the world in order to make ourselves feel valuable and safe, and into multisensory perception, in which we look inside ourselves in order to change the things inside ourselves that are preventing us from loving, preventing us from giving, preventing us from being positive forces in the world. There is confusion about the old types of relationship and the new type of relationship, which is called spiritual partnership. Romantic relationship is one of the old types of relationship. Everyone knows it doesn't last that long. The honeymoon always ends, and then the question becomes, what will the partners do when the honeymoon ends? The best scenario is that they will begin to learn about themselves from the judgments that they begin to develop about each other. In other words, they begin to see parts of themselves that they were trying to mask or trying to fix or were trying to make feel better by reaching out toward the other, by looking for someone else to complete them. That is a romantic relationship. It's not helpful in any way. It distracts you from the pain that drove you into the relationship, the pain of feeling unworthy, the pain of feeling unlovable and unloved, the pain of feeling defective or flawed, the pain of not wanting other people to see you the way you really are, because you fear that they wouldn't want to have anything to do with you. A healthy relationship is a relationship in which the individuals use the reactions that they experience in themselves as they interact, and not blame their partner on those reactions, but look inside to see the source of those reactions. For example, anger or impatience or jealousy or resentment. And as they do, they begin to discover that the source of those painful experiences is inside them. It's not in their partner. The partner may trigger those emotions, those painful experiences, but the partner did not cause them. If you want to move beyond those painful experiences, it's necessary to go to the source of them, and the source of them is within you. You can't change that in you by blaming your partner for what you're feeling, by blaming your partner for triggering a frightened part of your personality. That frightened part of your personality is a part of your personality so that you can experience it. fully, so that you will no longer try to escape its painful emotions, its physically painful emotions, by distracting yourself or hoping that someone else can prevent you from ever experiencing them again. That's impossible. The only way that you can keep from being controlled by them and eventually move beyond the control of them entirely is by learning about yourself. There's no way that you can do that in a relationship as limited and as non-productive as a romantic relationship. Eventually, you'll want to be a serial romantic relationship hunter. Even if you are married, you'll try to rekindle it in your marriage, or you'll be unfaithful in your marriage, thinking that someone else is your actual true partner, your soulmate. I suggest that you have 7 billion soulmates on this planet. And the question is not which one will save you from the painful experiences of fearful and destructive parts of yourself, but how you will relate one by one with those that you will encounter. Eventually, you may decide to live with one of those soulmates, to spend your life with one, or as much of your life as is appropriate for you to spend, so long as you are both learning from your interactions about yourselves, so that as long as you are both equals together for the purpose of growing spiritually. That's a spiritual partnership. I suggest that you look into that when you feel the loneliness and the call for someone to complete you or make you whole. I also suggest that you read the book, Spiritual Partnership, and see what the only alternative to all of the other types of relationships that 5 sensory humans pursued is, and that is spiritual partnership. Partnership between equals for the purpose of spiritual growth. It's a remarkable experience. But your life is remarkable, and now you can begin to explore it in remarkable ways.